Thank you very much, Grace, for being today with us.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being connected in this webinar organized by CFA Society Chile with the help of the Institute. My name is Pablo Ursúa. I'm a member of the board of CFA Society Chile, and I'm going to be the moderator today. Today's webinar is called Evolution of the CFA program. We will talk about the big evolution or upskilling that the Institute decided to perform on the structure of the CFA program. And also for the actual candidates, we will cover the main topics for the next year's curriculum at the same time. To have a rich discussion about these big changes, our invitee and speaker is Grace Yeung. She's Senior Director of Exam Development. She works for the Institute since many years ago. So welcome, Grace, and thank you for accepting our invitation. It wasn't easy to coordinate the schedules because of the time differences for everybody. She lives in Hong Kong, and we have 13 hours differences. But here we are. It's important to mention that our audience today is composed mainly on CFA candidates from Chile. And the main goal of this webinar is to generate engagement with the CFA's program new structure. The idea is to have a 20 to 30 minutes presentation, followed by a round of questions that we will choose from the chat that is available in the platform. We thank our main commercial sponsors that have been with us during all the year: Janus Henderson, StoneX, and FINSA. Before beginning with the presentation, I want to make an announcement. At the end of the webinar, we're going to gift 6 scholarships of the pre-provider Kaplan Schwesser. The participants, or to participate, everybody must be inscribed for any of the CA program levels and take the test in Chile. I will write, well, Natalia or me, we're going to write the name of all the candidates in a small piece of paper, and we will choose 6 of the papers, and the guys that with the name on it will be the winners, and we're going to contact them by our local team later. Please remember to keep the microphones mute and the cameras off. So, Grace, thank you. You can begin your presentation.
Thank you, Pablo, and good evening, everyone. My name is Grace Yeung. I am Senior Director of Exam Development from CFA Institute. It's a great opportunity, and I feel very honored to actually be meeting most of you or all of you today. And thank you once again for your time. So today we are here to talk about a very important topic, and that is about the upskilling with the enhanced CFA program. So here we go. CFA Institute. So basically, we are an organization that was established over half a century ago. And our mission statement is actually to lead the investment profession globally by promoting the highest standards of ethics, education, and also professional excellence for the ultimate benefit of society. And we truly believe in actually 2 components to make it a better society for all of us, our next generation going forward. We believe in investing in education and also into having kind of like an ethical ecosystem background for our profession. So as a result, with this particular background, we can actually make our financial markets operate more efficiently and effectively, and also in an ethical manner. So with over half a century in terms of our footprint, we are now being very global. And like myself, I'm based in APAC, but I'm essentially working with actually over 150 consultants worldwide to develop the exam questions for the CFA program, all levels, as well as the certificates of CFA Institute. We are very blessed that our global footprint actually covers all the continents here in the world, with over 190 70,000 members. We also have over 160 societies globally as well. Our program is also widely recognized by more than 650 affiliated universities. And if we take a look in terms of region by region, Americas is definitely our big home base with actually the greatest percentage or number of our members. So this is very important to us. We are also very, very blessed that actually quite a few independent sources rated CFA program before and call us our gold standard. So that really means that our program has a high regard from different renowned, reputable bodies. The reason why it's gold standard is because we have a very meticulous and also careful process to actually design the curriculum, and at the same time, and also therefore design the exam content as well. The key thing about it is that we actually do an exercise regularly, periodically, if not annually, or even more frequently, that we actually talk to the relevant stakeholders. For example, our employers, regulators, university professors, in terms of actually asking them what they really want and foresee and expect the future generation of charter holders to possess in terms of the skills. At the same time, we also listen attentively to our candidates in terms of their feedback about how they feel about our program, especially how they take the exam. Now, all these are key elements to fit into the next generation or next version of the CFA program. Now, in terms of the charter, many candidates I spoke to before are very, very keen to understand that this is a long journey. It means a lot to their study and their personal time. So after achieving those 3 letters behind their names, what can they really do from their profession? So we actually polled a lot of our members in terms of a survey, and we figured out that the charter is being well recognized in terms of the job skills and also in terms of the job role as well. So by getting a charter that actually equip you to get yourself ready into the investment field, and you can actually specialize in different spaces from equities to, let's say, venture capital, etc. So in terms of the job roles, the top job roles are being portfolio managers, research analysts, and also consultants as well. And these are our top global employers. And you can see that these names are no strangers to you because they are actually big names, very reputable and renowned investment banks and also asset management firms globally. To gain the charter holder and to become one, what you need is actually to do a couple of things. First one is to pass the 3 levels of the exam, level 1, level 2, and level 3. And then you need 4,000 hours of investment-related professional experience. At the same time, you also need to get about 2 to 3 references in order to actually help you to get access into being a member and to be a charter. So let me go deeper into the 3 levels of the CFA exam, and in a nutshell, what do they cover? Essentially, we design our program into 3 levels. The reason behind it is because we would like to reflect it being kind of like a journey from an investment professional. So let's say someone just graduated from undergraduate program from university. He or she is entering into the profession in terms of, let's say, joining as an analyst. And, from the day-to-day work experience from an analyst, the person needs to be equipped with some core skills, mainly about investment tools, for example, like accounting, corporate finance, economics, etc. And then when the person actually moves and progresses more into the professional journey, he or she is going to become, let's say, an analyst, specializing in certain fields in asset classes, like an equity analyst, like, for example, a fixed income research analyst, or maybe in derivatives or specializing in alternative investments. And then as time goes by, this person is going to excel more and more in the profession and getting into a more specialized portfolio manager. And as a result, at this particular level, more sophisticated and high cognitive level of understanding of the knowledge is required at, let's say, the synthesis and evaluation level. And as a result, the person needs to understand more about and even apply more about portfolio management and wealth planning. And as a result, this is how we design the 3 levels of the exam. Now, having said that, we touch on investment tools, asset classes, portfolio management, wealth management. But what is core is about ethics. That ties back to our mission statement to actually for the ultimate benefit of the society by building an ethical investment professional background. That's the reason why ethics is being tested in all 3 levels of the exam. So I mentioned about the keys to the success of the CFA program, what you need to become a charter holder. But when we actually talk to our successful candidates, they basically told us that they actually require, and it takes them at a minimum of 300 hours of the study time for each level. So I strongly encourage you that if you're a candidate, please actually bundle in and actually budget sufficient time to prepare for the exam. I'm going to go over with you in a bit more details about what the program is going to include. So essentially, when you sign up being a candidate, what comes with you at the moment of registration is something called a learning ecosystem. So essentially, it's a digital learning platform that we actually designed a couple of years ago. We understand from the candidates that they would like to actually have a digital platform that they can actually use in their different devices, say from their laptop, their actually phones, to facilitate them to study more effectively and efficiently, no matter at work, at home, etc. So in this learning ecosystem, essentially is a one-stop in which you can get access to a curriculum. You can get access to the end of learning module practice questions, as well as the mock exam. It also gives you a very nice dashboard to show you where are you in terms of the status of the progress of studying. At the same time, we also give you some tools to practice, like flashcards. And at the same time, you can also have a chat room that you can actually ask questions to your fellow candidates and also meet some friends as well. We also provide you in our enterprise website after you become a candidate, having a dedicated page for actually candidate resources to give you some support about studying, preparation for the exam, and also to me something very important is regarding the exam administration itself. For instance, the exam itself is computer-based. This particular website will tell you about how to schedule for an appointment for the exam, what is the checklist you need to prepare before going to the exam on the exam day. So make sure that being a candidate, you are not missed out by referring to this particular page. So I talk about the level 1, 2, and 3, and here's a QR code in which you can refer to about further details about the program. Now, here we go about the changes to the CFA program and also about the 2024 curriculum. So actually, like about half a year ago, CFA Institute released publicly in terms of 6 different key upskilling enhancements we are going to bring to the program. The reason why we do this particular big leap forward about these 6 enhancements is because we understand that we are living in a new world in a sense that we must keep our program very refreshed, up to date to meet the expectations of the employers, regulators, and also the candidates. So as a result, after talking to many stakeholders involved, that's how we come up with 6 areas to enhance our program. Let me go over very quickly what these 6 points are about. The first one is enhanced or expanded program eligibility. The next one is a more focused curriculum. The next one is actually the program being enhanced and also highlighted with a practical emphasis to ensure that you are equipped with some practical skills and you can actually apply to your day-to-day job in the investment management business. The next thing is we have a specialized pathway, or 3 actually, for level 3. The next one is we recognize this as a long journey for candidates. And as a result, we do want our candidates to get recognized for actually completing level 1 and level 2 by offering a digital badge. Last but not least, we actually listen to the feedback from candidates telling us that they do want more practices. And that's why we provide more practice opportunities, including mock questions and also exams. So this is a very busy slide, but essentially what I'm highlighting are actually 3 key snapshots of time, which is actually the effective date for each of the level in terms of the changes. Now for level 1, the above 6 enhancements will be effective for the February 2024, meaning the upcoming exam. And then for level 2, they will be effective for the August 2024 exam. And then for level 3, these 6 enhancements will be effective for February 2025 exam. So one thing to actually remind everyone is that actually tomorrow, November 8th, is our level 1 February 2024 exam registration deadline closes. So if you're actually still considering to sign up or not sign up, please bear in mind that tomorrow is actually the registration deadline for February 2024 exam level 1. So the first enhancement is about the eligibility change. What does that mean? Now, it used to be the case that we actually let university candidates to join the level 1 program when they have 12 months remaining to complete their undergraduate studies. We actually did some pilot studies a few years ago that we figured out that for candidates in which, let's say they just complete their level 2, year 2 of their undergraduate program, they actually do really well in the level 1 candidate. As a result, we actually expand the eligibility so that for candidates or university students with 2 more years to complete their undergraduate, they can actually sign up for level 1. We see this actually increasing the competitive edge to our university students, because that means when they are actually in their 3rd year, they can actually showcase to their potential employers saying that, hey, I've already completed level 1. I'm very committed and dedicated to enter into this particular investment management business, and therefore I can actually get a better opportunity to get an internship. And likewise, if you would like to get a full-time job after completing your undergraduate studies, you can therefore also showcase to your potential employer that I've already taken level 1 exam. So as a result, we do see that this is actually going to enhance our university students to get better chance to get into the investment profession. So the next enhancement is a focus on curriculum. What does that mean? We actually talk to candidates after the exam from the candidate survey. They keep on telling us saying that, look, Grace, this is actually something, meaning a lot of our study time. We spend at least 300 hours for each level to prepare for the exam. It's very broad-based, but at the same time, coming from an undergraduate studies with majoring in finance or maybe majoring in business, we already get very good understanding of some basic materials already covered in level 1. For example, in accounting, in quantitative methods, in economics, we already touch base, we all know some of the materials. So how can we get our curriculum more focused in order to make sure that those 300 hours of the preparation time will be well spent in terms of some very core materials? That's why we bring these foundational accounting, quantitative methods, and also the economics materials into something called the pre-read. So essentially, the materials in the pre-read represent about 15% of the used to be curriculum. And hopefully that will actually save some time for candidates to prepare for the exam. For the pre-read materials are for information only, for revision only. And that means that they will not be tested or examined in the exam itself. At the same time, let's say if you are having a non-business, non-finance undergraduate degree, say you are STEM major candidate, you can always refer to these pre-read materials and get an understanding. So now the next one is something in which I've received very good feedback from the candidates. This is regarding the practical skills module. What does that mean? So for level 1 and also for level 2 candidates, you need to spend about 10 to 15 hours on your individual time to actually self-study 1 out of 2 learning modules. And these are practical skills module. The topic is actually focused on some skills that you are actually expected to be equipped with, to possess when you actually join the investment management job title. Say you're an analyst, you are being expected, or your employer expects you to know financial modeling and also Python programming fundamentals in the investment world these days. And as a result, you can pick one out of two, either one of them, for your own individual development. And likewise, for level 2, we understand from the employers that they expect the candidates to understand and pick up some certain analyst skills, as well as more profound knowledge about Python, AI, etc. And as a result, the design of these practical skills module is actually something on your own study with some videos and also some self-doing exercise. You can totally complete at your own pace for 10 to 15 hours. The time frame for you to complete it is from the moment after you register for the exam until a certain deadline before the exam results are being released. So these are the specific details being covered by the practical skills module. My slides will be available to you, so feel free to take a look at that. And then the next enhancement is about level 3. Essentially, I mentioned about the term pathways. How does that work is that, so for level 3 right now, effective February 2025 exam, we are going to design level 3 with 70% being the core part, and then the remaining 30% being a pathway. We provide you with a choice of 3 pathways, being portfolio management, private markets, and private wealth. The reason why we do it this way is because from the job survey we did with the employers, we understand that right now in the investment world, employers actually expect the new portfolio managers to certainly specialize in certain very hot and specific job roles, being portfolio management, followed by private markets and also private wealth. So these 3 represent the top 3 job roles or specializations in the investment management business. And that's why we designed the 3 pathways. You can pick one out of the 3. No matter which pathway you pick, you're going to end up with the same designation or the same charter, being CFA. That means behind the 3 letters, behind your designation, we won't actually put a particular designation or field of specialization behind the charter or your designation. The next enhancement we bring is about success recognition. We know that it's a very, very actually uneasy, challenging journey to achieve actually all 3 levels of the program and also get 4,000 hours of investment management experience for you to get the charter, for you to get recognized. At the same time, we also want our stakeholders, our employers to truly recognize that completing level 1, completing level 2 in the journey also mean quite a bit, also mean certain achievement. And that's why we will provide the digital badge to successful candidates for completing level 1 and level 2. And this already has been in practice. The importance or the beauty of having this digital badge is that you can put it in your social media, say LinkedIn, and therefore you can actually increase your exposure or visibility to your future employers to showcase that you have already completed level 1 and level 2, which can totally help you do more job search, placing you at a competitive edge. The last enhancement is something quite interesting. It's about the optional practice pack. So what does that mean? For a fee of $300 US, you can actually purchase additional practice opportunities, which comes with actually 6 additional mock exams. Now, out of these 6 additional mock exams, 1 is actually going to be like the real exam day experience, meaning that it will be actually facilitated in the software being ProBuilder, and that is the software on your exam day. At the same time, you're going to get 1,000 exam quality practice questions divided up by topics. The team writing these practice questions and also the mock exam questions is actually the same team writing the live exam questions. And as a result, these questions will give you a very high level in terms of what you will be tested on the exam day. At the same time, you can also get access to a downloadable PDF version of the curriculum as well. And now the thing is, we actually make some topical changes or slight changes to the topical weights to the 2024 curriculum. And the main reason behind it is because we actually shift about 15% of accounting, quantitative methods, and econ from the testable materials to the pre-read, being one of the 6 enhancements. Now, because of that change, we actually changed the topical weights for the 10 different topics a little bit, but not too far off compared with before. We're still having the same 10 topics to be tested for each of the 3 levels, no change. It's just a little fine tuning for the topical weight for actually these particular topics. So here is actually the summary for the level 1 changes. So I'll go for level 1 first in terms of the curriculum changes for 2024. Overall, we are going to have 93 learning modules. We actually have already finalized changing the curriculum from actually chapters, readings, which are pretty lengthy, into something more appealing in terms of something more actually easier to handle, shorter, succinct learning module. The purpose of why we're doing it is actually to facilitate the learning process. A learning module is something shorter, sort of like a lesson, so that you can actually learn it on your own in, let's say, a couple of hours in one evening. In this way, we are chunking up sizable content of the learning of the curriculum into smaller pieces to facilitate you to study. So now we actually finalize all the 10 different topics into this design called learning modules. And so in this year, the last 4 topics in this learning module are quantitative methods, corporate issuer, fixed income, and alternative investments. And because of that, we also have some changes to the curriculum content associated with these topics. At the same time, because of actually moving into the pre-read, therefore you see that quantitative methods, econ, financial statement analysis will also have some changes. We also fine-tune some derivative readings with some changes as well. So this is actually the detailed breakdown in terms of the number of learning modules for each topic. Also, what are the major revision or even new reading or learning module, and also what are some revisions about it. So what I would like to highlight to this very informative table is that essentially in 2024 curriculum for level 1, you're going to see some changes, quite a number of them. Essentially, other than portfolio management and also ethics, we do see for the remaining 8 topics with some changes, and they range from, let's say, revision to something more major changes to less or to even like a new reading. For example, in quantitative method, we have a new learning module. And in the case of corporate issues, because of designing into learning modules, we have 7 new learning modules, etc. And my key message to you is therefore don't underestimate the time that you need to prepare for the exam, and that is crucial for the success. Remember, you need more than 300 hours for each program, for each level to actually help you to feel adequate to prepare for the exam. So for level 2, we have an overall of 49 readings. The changes are actually less compared with level 1. We have 2 new readings, and they are about equity and also alternative investments. For equity, the new reading is about private company valuation. And then for level 3, this is about hedge fund strategies. The reading for actually hedge fund strategies is essentially moved from level 3 into level 2. The reason why we did it is because we're actually designing level 3 into pathways, and therefore we consider that there are some materials in which we would like candidates to learn in level 2 so that they won't feel missed out if they pick a particular pathway not related to, let's say, the alternative investments. And then we have 3 readings with major revisions, being 1 reading in quantitative method, 1 in accounting, and that is regarding pension, and also 1 reading in alternative investment about real estate. For level 3, we don't put through any change in level 3 in 2024 fall curriculum. The main reason behind it is because we're going to have actually the 3 pathways in 2025. We want to have some stability. And as a result, for next year, 2024, we still keep the same 33 readings. And then we just actually upgrade 11 readings with some more examples, some exhibits to make it more up to speed, up to date, more current. And that's it for level 3. So with that said, I'm very happy to answer any questions that you may have. Over to you, Pablo.
Thank you, Grace. The presentation was super clear. Well, we have a couple of questions from the audience. The first one, well, you took that this week is like the deadline for getting inscribed for the first level with the new upskilling, yeah? So the new program is 2 months ahead. So please tell us about the onboarding experience. What about the payment? What about buying the books, buying the question banks and mock exams? It's kind of the same experience as, for example, when we get inscribed. In my case, I remember that we can do everything just in one spot in the webpage of the institute. Now you can buy the books in the same webpage, or you have to buy the books through Amazon or through other platforms.
Very good question. So in terms of buying the books, getting the practice pack, we are also facilitating one stop for everyone, which is actually CFA Institute's website, the enterprise website. Essentially, the curriculum is available to you when you register for exam in learning ecosystem, LES in short, and it comes with you free already when you register for exam. The only thing you need, or you may consider to actually purchase, is actually the additional mock exams if you wish, or maybe if you would like to get a downloadable PDF curriculum, it is also something available for purchase as well. But once again, in terms of actually purchasing additional materials, is CFA Institute that has not changed.
Perfect. Here's a question from Gian Mario. Do the practice skills modules would be available in the platform for candidates that have already cleared level 1 and level 2? Maybe you can tell us, for example, I also have that question, if all the new curriculum will be uploaded, for example, in the professional learning section in the public webpage. Does the practice skills will also be uploaded for the professional learning skills in the or webpage in the public webpage of the institute, or it's going to be just for the candidates that leave the new program?
Wonderful question. And actually, this is exactly, one thing in which me being a member, I'm also very excited about, because I got my charter a very long time ago, and I do need to upskill my own self as well, learning more about Python, which is actually a super hot job skill right now. I also receive a lot of feedback from fellow friends being charter holders. They do want to actually take the practical skills module. Now, we are definitely considering providing the practical skills module as a benefit to the members for their CPD, continued learning. In the meantime, more information is going to come in terms of where to get access to that for members. At the same time, in terms of, let's say, the curriculum changes and whatnot, we are also considering bringing them as CPD, you can get the learning credit being available to members as well. So stay tuned for more information.
Great. And how much time do we have to complete the practical skills modules? Can we complete them after or before we take the exam? It's going to be like a practice, and it's going to last like a couple of months. It's just going to be cases and you have to solve them. How's going to be the experience for the practical skills modules?
Yeah, very good question. I mean, I've gone through a couple of them, you know, kind of like as beta testing before being launched, obviously. So I think that it took me like about 10 to 15 hours essentially to launch it, to watch the video, to do an exercise. For example, in financial modeling, we're using Excel spreadsheets to showcase how to build a financial model, to let's say do some valuation work, to analyze the financial statements. And as a result, I would say to go over a practical skill module, it takes about 10 to 15 hours of self-learning time. At the very end, there will be a little quiz for you to go over on your own in order to make sure that you possess the skills. In terms of the timing for you to take it, so from the moment you actually sign up and register for the exam, you can take it. And the deadline to actually complete the practical skills module is actually a certain date before the exam results are released. For instance, I'm just using the February 2024 exam as an example. Exam results are usually available 2 months after the exam, let's say April 2024. That really means that before the April 2024 exam release date, as a candidate, you need to complete the practical skills module. We'll definitely tell you the deadline to do that, because actually completing the practical skills module is a prerequisite for you to get the exam results. Now, I trust you that after completing the exam, you do want your exam results, right? So make sure you complete the practical skills module before that.
Perfect. Thank you for the tip. And it's the mock exam questions are going to be more difficult than the actual exam, or going to have like the same difficulty level?
I would say that, like, you know, actually one big exercise my team did for the last couple of years, actually very recently, is to make sure that the mock exam is very, very close to what candidates will be tested. Say for level 1, what those 180 questions they are going to see in 4.5 hours in the live exam. So therefore, the mock exam, in my opinion, has actually the same level of difficulty, a very, very high proximity to the real life exam itself. In fact, when my team writes the exam questions, we don't even know where that particular exam question is going to land. Is it going to end up showing up in the live exam? Is it going to show up in the mock exam? Is it going to show up at the end of learning module practice exam? We don't know. So you can tell that the mock exam is going to be very, very similar to the live exam from that manner.
Okay. And there's going to be also an ecosystem surrounding the CFA program, for example, like these providers, because now CFA enters in the business of the providing also. So this like competition where the other providers are gonna still running, or you have this talk to them and tell them that you're gonna be like the only one providing question banks or mock exams. How's that works and coexist?
Yeah. I'm glad that you actually bring it up, and I'm very happy to clarify that. Prep providers are wonderful friends. They are very, very important to us, and we truly believe that they are very, very important to help candidates learn. The reason why we developed the practice pack mainly is because we listen to candidate feedback. They always want more practice. Practice makes perfect. So at the same time, they also want more mock exam, real life experience. So for instance, like the mock exams are being offered in learning ecosystem, really meaning that we provide them directly to the candidates. Learning ecosystem is the digital platform that is available to candidates when they sign up for exam. They already get 2 mock exams when they come up free, actually with the registration in learning ecosystem in this digital platform. Now, in this optional practice pack, we offer an opportunity to candidates that if they feel that 2 mock exams are not enough, we provide you 6 more. Now, an important feature about the 6 more is that 1 out of the 6 additional mock exam is actually available in the software that the candidates are going to take on the exam day, being in ProBuilder, which is the software by Prometrics, our service provider for the exam day for computer-based exam. Now, we are the ones offering the exam, so we want to make sure that candidates are also given the opportunity. Maybe if they are very, very curious about, oh, okay, what does that mean on exam day? How am I going to feel about it? I want to get an upfront experience, hands-on experience first. Therefore, you can get access to it by actually considering buying this practice pack. So as a result, that's why we are providing this practice pack directly to the candidates, outreaching them to directly. So I hope that this is something that, you know, candidates will take that into consideration as well.
Perfect. Was answering a question through the chat. Give me 1 second. And the transition to the new program syllabus or curriculum is thought that nobody will have, for example, level 1 or level 2 with the actual structure and level 3 with the new structure. Yes, so everybody's like will finish with this news with the actual structure, and the new candidates will just follow the new CFA program structure. I'm correct? Or some candidates will be in the middle?
Yeah, good question. And essentially, effective 2024, I'm using level 1 once again as an example. Essentially, all the candidates, they are going to experience something the same, consistent, which is actually in the learning ecosystem with these 6 enhancements to the program. So we want to make sure that this is actually a level playing field. And as a result, if you are a new level 1 candidate, if you are actually a candidate taking the exam again, effective February 2024 level 1 exam, you are going to go over the same consistent candidate experience. And this also applies to candidates all over the world, because we want to make sure that this is actually a global exam. And you know, say a candidate from Chile, a candidate from Argentina, a candidate from, let's say, US, from London or from Hong Kong, they also go through the same pathway.
Thank you for answering the question, Grace. Well, folks, this instance is for you. We organized this webinar for the candidates, so if you have more questions, please feel free to write them in the chat or open your microphone. If not, we can free you, Grace. You can begin your day concentrated. In advance, thank you very much for your time and sharing with us the evolution of the program. And you were super clear. It was a pleasure to meet you. And
Same
to
here.
our audience, have a productive time studying. Remember that we, as CFA Society Chile, will walk you through the process and provide support when necessary.